I'm serious. So, right. How you doing today, Lauren?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit about OB,
Mm-hmm.
and what we're going to talk about is cesarean section. And I know you're aware of this because we talked a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and tell me a little bit about why I chose this topic.
Like I was telling you before, I'm wanting to start a family, and I feel like I'm at that age I want to have some kids and everything. But my mom had both me and my brother by cesarean section, so it was just a concern. I didn't really know what all went on, and so that's why I wanted to talk to you about it, just to learn about it, more information and everything.
I'm glad I can help you out with that. I mean, currently right now with nursing, I'm going through my OB class,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been learning quite a bit of information about it. So the main thing I want to do today is just kind of give you just a more of a general view of it, and just give you more
Like
of an idea.
what it is and risks, and those are my main concerns. So.
Yeah, well, definitely. I know you're gonna have a few questions that'll come up throughout it, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
make sure I explain to you. But in general, what a cesarean section is it is a surgical procedure. A lot of times it is an emergency procedure, meaning you'll be it's like a last resort kind of thing. So ideally you want to have a vaginal birth, but a lot of times a cesarean section will come up mainly due to complications.
Okay.
And I know we talked a little bit earlier, and you kind of want to know a few of those complications,
Right.
Yeah, and well, some complications that come up with a cesarean section is if the baby's in the incorrect position. There's a reason they perform it. A lot of times, kids born head first, which I assume you know that.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times they can also be breech, which is feet first,
Okay.
or sideways, which is a transverse position.
And that's when you want to have cesarean section during those?
It can be an indication, like it can actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
A child can be born breech,
Okay.
but those are other complications. Mm-hmm. Another one that can be if the cord is in the incorrect position and there's pressure being applied to the cord, it can decrease oxygen to the baby. And actually the way they know this is that they monitor the infant during pregnancy. They know the heart rate of the infant, and a lot of times that will give them cues as to if the baby's getting oxygen.
Okay.
Another thing is if the placenta's in the incorrect position, such as blocking the birth canal, then the infant would also have to be a cesarean section. So, and the reason they choose the cesarean section, remember, it's in they're weighing risk versus benefits.
Right.
So it's definitely in procedure whenever they do that. Ideally, you want to have a natural
Right.
birth. Yeah. So, what other concerns or interests do you have?
I know that you want to have natural birth, and it's probably better for both the mom and the baby, but what are the risks of having a cesarean section for the baby? Like, why?
Yeah.
What's bad about that?
I gotcha. Well, one of the things involved with the baby is whenever there's a vaginal birth, there's a lot of stress that's applied on the baby, and that stress is actually needed. A lot of times it causes the baby to to scrunch up, and that's also going to make them have that big breath whenever they first come out. And with the cesarean section, the baby doesn't go through that actually. And also, a baby is going to look just a little bit different whenever it's a cesarean section, because they're not going to have the molding of the head, neither, because they're not going to be having the pressure on the child. But other than that, it's performed regularly. Cesarean sections are the #1 surgery performed on women. So it definitely is it's a science that's been progressed. So there's always risk involved with pregnancy, but it is one of the safer surgeries.
Okay.
So.
And so, is it safe for the mom as well, or are there risks for? I mean,
absolutely, for yourself.
Yeah, I'm sure there.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, it is going to be a surgery.
Right.
So you are going to get cut into, which anytime you have to put stress on the body, such as incisions, there's going to be reasons, and some of that is just basic reasons like surgery. If there is an incision, there's a chance for infection. Anesthesia will be used, and there's a few ways they can do that. They can either do it through an epidural, which is where they just numb you from above the stomach down. And another way they can do it, which ideally they try to avoid, is through general anesthesia, and that's where you're completely out during the procedure. But one of the it could be classified as, it's not necessarily a risk factor, but a psychosocial part of that is whenever you're not engaged in the birthing process, then that's, they want the mother to be engaged during the birthing process. Absolutely.
I definitely want
That's an important concept. Yeah. So as soon as the infant's born, they want the infant with the mother. And with surgery, that's not possible because the mother needs to be assessed and watched afterwards, and a lot of times she'll be droggy before the surgery.
Is there like, I mean, I don't think going into it you can be like, yeah, I'm having a cesarean section, but is there a way to prepare for the whole process? Or
yeah, well, kind of like what we're doing now. I mean, get as much information as possible.
Okay.
You know, I'm able to provide you this information. You know, as a nursing student, I can give you the information that I was able to research and learn. But a lot of times it's good, you know, whenever you start beginning with child, and you know you're going to do a little bit of research and read your books, because I know you'll be an engaged parent, which is good. And there's a lot of information that you can learn from your physician. But as for the cesarean section, a lot of times, if they know that a cesarean section is going to happen, which planned cesarean sections can be due to previous sections, a lot of times they'll have to have a cesarean section, so the mother will have a good idea. But if it is a planned section, you can talk with anesthesia and with the doctors, and they can give you more of the technical aspect of it, and how to know kind of what's going through it.
And all that. And so, I don't know. As opposed to like things going wrong, is there a way to like prepare for like the unexpected to happen, or I guess just going through that? I guess probably just talking with you. Is that the only? I mean, I don't know. I just get nervous.
It's absolutely understandable. It is a surgery procedure, and after the procedure, there's going to be, you know, it's treated just like surgical procedure. So you will be in the hospital for about 3 days after the C-section, and a lot of times you can walk around after 24 hours. But definitely the healthcare team is going to try to provide, trying to get you with the infant as soon as possible. Okay. So that is one thing. I mean, you're still going to get to see baby. It's just that right after process is where that C-section comes into play. Okay. So.
And I just, at home when I'm like, after the whole thing, say I have a C-section, and I have my 3 days in the hospital, and then I come home maybe hopefully after 24 hours.
So asking kind of like, what are the ramifications of a C-section more often? Well, you know, as I said, it just is a surgical procedure, so you're going to want to take it easy. But you know, just like supporting the abdomen and taking it real easy for a period of time afterwards, and following your drug regimen and being, you know, compliant with that is all the aid. And you're gonna have to take a little bit of time to heal, but it's nothing that's really gonna hinder you greatly. It's more just the time right after baby.
Just be patient and not try to go full force afterwards.
And there, as you're saying, you were C-section. You know, there can be genetic factors involved with it too. But a lot of times, it's not necessarily that baby's, you know, head's too big or the pelvis is too small. A lot of times, it's other issues that can come into play with that also.
So it's not like I'm automatically going to have a C-section. It's just
it's not one that they
depends. Like but always talk.
That's why a lot of times it is. That's why I said that it is the emergency procedure is typically how it results. So. You got any other questions or anything I can help you with?
Oh, I think that's it. I mean, if I have any more, I'll let you know, but for now,
well, I'm glad.
I think we covered a lot.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad that I could help you out.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.